It was cold, rainy, and very much a typical London evening. My train had been delayed. Again. I was soaked tired, and the only thing on my mind was finding a warm bed and a bit of silence. Instead of heading home to Manchester that night, I checked into a small vintage hotel tucked between two shops in Notting Hill. Nothing fancy, just a clean bed and working Wi-Fi. The woman at the reception gave me a room on the 4th floor. I took the lift up, dragging my wet suitcase behind me, barely paying attention to anyone else around. Until I stepped out, and almost bumped straight into her. She had headphones in, a takeaway coffee in one hand, and a sketchpad tucked under her arm. She looked up, surprised. We both mumbled apologies and tried to move past each other in the narrow corridor. But the elevator door had already closed behind me. Bit of a squeeze here, isn't it? I said awkwardly, trying to make light of it. She smiled, the kind of smile that makes you forget it's raining outside. That's London for you. Expensive rooms and tiny hallways. We laughed. Her name was Isla. She was staying the night too, in the room right next to mine. A graphic designer from Brighton, in the city for a creative workshop. Want to grab a drink? She asked casually. There's a small bar downstairs. I hate drinking alone. I almost said no. I was tired. My hair was still wet. I had nothing interesting to say. But something in her voice, calm, inviting, made me nod. The hotel bar was quiet, dimly lit with golden lamps and vintage photos of London in the 60s. We ordered gin and tonics and found a cozy corner. What was supposed to be a 20-minute chat turned into 3 hours of non-stop conversation. We talked about everything. Artikel. Music. How London was both magical and overwhelming. I told her about my job in publishing. She told me about her dream of opening a small studio by the sea. She was witty, honest, and kind. She laughed with her whole face, and listened like she really cared. It felt effortless, like we'd known each other for years. At one point, the bartender asked if we were a couple. We both laughed and shook our heads. No, she said, glancing at me. Just Strangers for now. By midnight, the bar had closed, and we headed back to our floor. She hesitated at her door. Can I ask something crazy? She said. I nodded, curious. Would you stay up a bit longer? Maybe come in for tea? Just talk. Noting wird, I promise. I just don't feel like being alone tonight. I schuld we hesitated. I didn't. Her room smelled like vanilla and pencil shavings. A half-done sketch lay on the bed, soft music playing from her phone. We sat on the carpet, mugs of tea in our hands, knees almost touching. She showed me her art. Raw, emotional pieces full of longing and color. I was genuinely impressed. She looked at me. I don't usually do this. I mean, open up like this. Me neither, I said quietly. For a long time, we just sat there. No words, just silence and heartbeats. And then, something shifted. She leaned in. So did I. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't planned. Just one soft, perfect kiss. We didn't sleep that night, not in the way you'd think. We stayed up talking until dawn, lying on the bed, fingers interlaced. It felt too delicate to ruin with expectations. It was just one night, but it felt like a lifetime. Morning came. Rain again. London doing what it does best. We walked together to the cafe around the corner, shared a croissant, laughed about how sleepy we were. Then came the hard part, goodbye. She had to catch her train. I had mine. No time for drama or promises. We stood by the station, luggage by our sides, awkward smiles on our faces. Will I see you again? I asked. She didn't answer right away. Just took a pen from her bag, grabbed my wrist, and wrote something on it. Brighton Pier. 1 week from now. Sunset. Then she kissed me on the cheek and walked away. I showed up. Of course, I showed up. She did too. And we've been showing up for each other ever since.